Hey all, Mark Slane with the United States Krav Maga Association. Today basically talking about what it is we teach. When I'm asked, what do you teach in Krav Maga? Or, how do you help a small woman defend herself against a large male? My answer is always, we teach people to get through the loop while keeping the scumbag in the loop. And I get blank stares, so I have to explain what the loop is. It's called the OODA Loop, O-O-D-A. You might hear it called Boyd's Circle. We'll talk about that a little bit here later, but observe, orient, decide, act is what we're doing. Observe, orient, decide, act. If someone starts to punch me, I got to observe something's going on here. I orient, that is a punch coming at me. I decide I'm going to block it and hit this idiot back, and then I act upon it. Now, say we got the small female and a large male comes up to choke her. We are teaching our students to get through the loop in a hurry. We're truly teaching a flinch reaction to go forward with rage and aggression, destroy what's in front of us, and go get to safety. That's not natural. If somebody punches you, you think, what is happening? Why is he hitting? Who is this? Do I know this person? While we're taking damage. We're teaching people as soon as I get hit once, I don't know what that was, but I am going forward, and I am destroying this thing. Truly, the scumbag we want to keep in the loop. And by that I mean, he's decided he's going to choke this female. She gets out of choke, kicks him in the groin. She plucks. Exact same time she's getting those hands off of her, she kicks this guy in the groin. He's got to observe, he got kicked, orient, ouch. He's going to decide what to do about that, but before he gets to the action, she's punched him in the throat. He has to observe that, orient, decide. Before he gets to action, she's kneed him in the groin. Observe, or before he gets to action, we're elbowing him in the back of the head. We're throwing him on the ground, stomping his Achilles. Again, that's her only chance against defeating someone that's much larger, much stronger. She's going to go off like a bomb. And every time I say things like this, I get especially martial artists telling me, oh, that's brutal, you can't teach that. Well, I don't call that brutal, I call that effective. I didn't start this, she didn't start it. Someone was trying to hurt her. He has decided he's going to choke her, rape her, murder her. Okay, what are you going to teach her? A sidekick? A pumse? How to take someone to the ground and patiently control until you can get them in an arm bar? What are you going to teach him? How to break a piece of wood? I'm going to teach her to go off like a bomb and destroy this fool. Again, observe, orient, decide, act. You get through that, keep the scumbag in it, just keep pummeling. That's why we go off like a bomb. That is our only choice. Techniques are going to degrade under a realistic attack, under someone's trying to do us harm, kill us, hurt our family. The adrenaline dump, the stress, the exhaustion, the fear, techniques are going to crap. We teach people go off like a bomb and just hit, strike, hit, and go be safe. Go get out of there, be safe. Now, Colonel Boyd, this was Vietnam era. He was studying fighter pilots. Okay, studying fighter pilots in the Vietnam era, and he found out that after 5 confirmed kills, these pilots were virtually unbeatable. They were getting through the loop by the time they had that much experience, getting through the loop like crazy. They were observe, orienting, deciding, acting. The newer pilots who hadn't been in these engagements, they kept in the loop. Observe, orient, oh, I got to observe this, I got to orient to the, oh, they just kept them in the loop. At the beginning of Vietnam, the Americans' kill ratio in jet fighters wasn't that great. They weren't killing that many more than they were being killed. Towards the end of the war, middle of the war in Vietnam, they had looked into this, studied this, they had started training differently, and the kill ratio went way up. I mean, they were killing, I forget what the number is, but for every one American pilot that was shot down, it was like, I don't know, 15 or 20 enemy fighters, which is the way it should have been. They studied this, they put time and thought and effort into this. The cool thing is, people have been being called aces since World War I, maybe even before that. So they kind of knew there was something magic about those 5 kills. Truly, Colonel Boyd found out there's basically 2 types of pilots in a war. Aces, and the rest of them that were getting killed by the aces. You were virtually unbeatable. So truly, the way we train in class is to get people so much realistic training, realistic attacks, put stress and exhaustion, adrenaline dumps into the training. We're getting people used to this. Get through the darn loop, keep scumbag in the loop. Now, as an aside, and this is kind of scary, we tell this to all the law enforcement that we train. Sergeant Brandon Hicks, who is our co-lead instructor and our main instructor for the law enforcement, studying the FBI's year-end reports, and the FBI, they go in, basically when someone kills a cop, they go and they interview them, they try to get information out of them, and the scary thing is they found out that a scumbag that kills a law enforcement officer, that's about his 5th or more deadly force encounter. Okay, this scumbag has had 4, 5, 6 deadly force encounters before he kills this officer. That's horrifying. I mean, what did we just talk about? After 5 of them, those aces were virtually unbeatable. This guy has so much real training that it's very, very scary for our law enforcement. You know, in most law enforcement, they don't have 5 deadly force encounters. So we kind of go back to our CROV training. What are we going to do about that? RBT, reality-based training. We use simnitions. We put officers in these, you know, they don't know what's coming. We got a guy, you know, or several guys, they're ambushed, or it starts out as just a traffic stop, all of a sudden, boom, there it is. Going through these things with simnitions and having to make these decisions, you know, your brain doesn't know the difference between it was real or it was training, so we got to train correctly. Same thing we do in CROV class, train correctly. So we get these officers, we get them, what, 20 or 30 deadly force encounters with our RBT training. We want them to be the unbeatable ones. So again, it's a fascinating study. Go look up Colonel Boyd's Loop or the OODA Loop. Observe, orient, decide, act. We want to get through the loop. We want to keep the scumbag in the loop. It's Mark Slane, United States Krav Maga Association.